Welcome to another session on machine learning and data science. In this prerequisite session, we will talk about if-else statement in Python. So let's jump right into the topic. Before we start learning about the if-else statement and the if statements, it's very important for us to have a clear understanding of the comparison operators that are used in Python. So let's go ahead and see the different kinds of comparison operators. Now the types of operators in Python are equals, not equals, less than or equal to, greater than and greater than equal to. An equals symbol is represented by two equal to symbols. A not equals can be represented by an apostrophe and an equal sign. The less than symbol is represented by the regular less than symbol. The less than or equal to symbol is represented by less than and followed by an equal to symbol, and the greater than is by the greater symbol, and also the greater than or equal to is represented by the greater than symbol followed by an equal to symbol. So these are the types of operators that we usually witness in Python. So let's go ahead and implement a simple if case and see how it is used in Python. Now in Python, let us implement a simple if statement. So consider a variable x equals to 10 and another variable y is equal to 5. And here for if statement, I'll write it as if x is greater than y, then so always in the if statement, as soon as you write the condition, you have to put a colon symbol. So you put a colon symbol and press enter. When you press enter, the IDE will automatically indent. In Python, indentation works the same as curly brackets in other programming languages. It defines the scope of that particular code set. So here, if I want to define a scope, like what are the set of statements that have to execute when x is greater than y, then what we do is that we indent it. So I'm going to print greater than. Okay, so this is the statement I'm going to put it through. Now if I execute this, since x is greater than the given value y here, the condition will get satisfied and the greater than symbol is printed. So let's execute this one. So you see the greater than symbol is printed. Now what if I don't give indentation? Like I said, in Python, the indentation will work as a bracketing factor. So if I remove the indentation, then what will happen is that this particular print is not considered part of the loop of the xy comparison operation set. So what it will do is that when I execute this, it will throw me an exception that an indentation is required. Now the indentation can be a space or the indentation can be a tab. Usually the SPIDER IDE will by default create an indentation for you and give you the output. Okay, so this print greater than falls into the part of the if x greater than y. Now I will show you the end of the scope of this indentation. So if I say print indentation ends here, then this particular print statement which is there is not a part of this if x is equal to if x is greater than y condition and the set of operations that need to be performed when x is greater than y. So let me execute this and show it to you. So when it is there, when x is greater than y, it will go into the if part and it will execute the print greater than, and if at all, if it is as soon as it is done, it exits that part and it will print the indentation ends here. Now suppose let me swap the values of x and y, say x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 10, and if I execute it here, since the condition does not satisfy, this is not printed, but the indentation part is printed. Let me just execute it and show it to you. So you can see here in the console output the indentation is printed. So this is our simple if in Python. Now in Python itself, you will come across situations where you might have multiple conditions running through, and each condition performs a different set of code. So suppose here the x value can be greater than y, it can be less than y, or it can be equal to y. So suppose if I just want to print an output like, if x is greater than y, then print greater than, otherwise just print not greater than, then I can use a simple else statement. So else statement is else, and you put a colon again, and then you print not greater than. So here, if at all, if you are printing not greater than, and if you execute it, if the value of x is greater than y, it will print greater than, and if the value of x is not greater than y, then it will print not greater than. So let's just execute this program and see how it gives the output. So you can see here the not greater than is printed. Now there can be instances and conditions where you might compare multiple statements and multiple entities. So for example, here you can say if x is greater than y, print greater than, if x is less than y, print less than, and if x is equal to y, then print equal to. So in such cases we use the if else ladder set. So that one is represented by elif. So let me just show you that. So the condition will be elif, elif, if x is less than y, I'll say print less than, and in the else part, if it is not greater than and if it's not less than, then most probably it is a equal to. Okay, so let's just go ahead and print this if else ladder. So here it gave me the value less than. If I give x and value, y value 10, if x is 10 and y is equal to 10, then it will go to the else part and print me the else part. And if x is 10 and y is 1, then it will just print me the greater than part. So this is how you can use a simple if and else, and you can use a simple if and also have multiple condition follow-ups using the else if. Now we can also have multiple nesting of conditions in a if else statement. So let us look at one example. Let me say if x equals to 10, right, I will print x is 10, else print x is not 10. So if I execute this one, what will happen is this particular if and else, because of the indentation factor, it falls into the scope of the if x greater than y. So technically if you look at it, it will be equivalent to something like this. Means this indentation is equivalent to putting this into this set of bracket. Okay, so in Python we don't use the bracket set to define scope. So here in the same line of the printf, that implies that that particular if statement falls into the same indentation. So let's go ahead and execute this one and see how nesting works. So if you see here, x is greater than y, that is true, and so it printed greater than in the result set. And here, if x is equal to 10, print x is 10, so it gave me the x value 10. Now suppose if I put the value of x as 9, then what happens is it will just flow into the logical set. It will print yes, it is greater than 9 is greater than 1, that is true, and here it will go to the else part and print the value x is not equivalent to 10. So this is how a nesting works in Python. Now let's clear up the screen and look at some more aspects of if. So if you have only one statement to print after the if statement, then you need not have the indentation as such. All you can do is you can print it in the same line. You can say print greater than. Okay, so by doing this, what is happening is, since there is only one statement in the complete if part of the code, so what you can do is you can just put it in a shortcut format without having the code being written in the next line. But if there is more than one particular set of instructions that has to run, then indentation becomes mandatory. So this is nothing but the shorthand technique of a simple if statement. So let me just go ahead and execute this. So it printed me the greater than symbol. Now here I can write the if else also in a very shorthand technique. So I'll say x is equal to 9, y is equal to 1, print greater than if x greater than y, else print not greater than. So here x is equal to 9, y is equal to 1. So I have written this if else part in a shorthand format. So when I write it like this, it will print me the greater than symbol. Now suppose if I put x is equal to 9 and y is equal to 19, then let's see what happens. If I execute this, it will go to the not greater than part. So this kind of writing, where you have if condition, you need to print a particular condition if it is greater than, else you print it as not greater than. This is called as ternary operation. It is called as ternary operation. So ternary operation, in suppose in C language, if you see, it is represented as you have a condition, right, and then you have a question mark, statement 1, else statement 2. So you are pretty much in your C, you are writing the ternary condition like this. So similarly in Python you can write your ternary condition like this. Now you can come across situations where if at all, if the value is greater than, then you don't do anything, and if the value is less than, you can perform an operation. So suppose here I can say if x is greater than y, I don't want to do anything, else print y. Suppose I don't want to do anything here, I only want to print if y is greater than this thing. So since the if statement cannot be empty, so you have something called as a pass. So if you use the keyword pass, what will happen? This pass will, just consider this as an individual statement, and it will continue the execution of the if else part Otherwise what it will do is that it will go to the else part and run it. So here you don't have to perform any action. So if you don't have to perform any action, you can use the keyword pass. So let me just go ahead and execute it. So you can see here it printed 19. So here it went to the else part. Now suppose if I say x is less than y, so here it did not print anything in the output console, and you can see that the if statement has executed successfully. So this is how you can use a if statement without having any conditional or any statements that perform conditionally for the if. So you can use by simple pass. So we have looked at if else, we have looked at the if else ladder, we have looked at nested if, we have looked at shorthanded if, we have looked at the ternary operator where we have the if else statement written in a single line, and also if at all if you don't want to perform any set of operations, if the condition is true, then you have the conditional usage of pass. So this concludes our understanding about if else in Python. I hope this session was useful for you to understand the if else part of Python. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and also please subscribe to this YouTube channel all about data, so that I could post more and more videos and you could receive more updates regarding videos such as these. Thank you so much.